Friends, this is Priyanka. So, welcome to another topic that's going to be a psychiatric medication. So, this is the topic where we have a lot of confusion, but I'm going to make it simple for you. So, I'm going to help you with what to focus on. There's psychiatric medication are very vast. We are always confused where to focus and what to study and what to leave. So, in this video, I'm going to help you what to focus on. Okay, so without wasting much time, I'm gonna jump right ahead. Thank you. Okay, so let's talk about anti-anxiety medication. So first one is benzodiazepine. So whenever I think about benzo, I think about the Benz car. And Pam and Lam, two sisters, they love driving the Benz car. Okay, so Pam and Lam means any medication that's ending with Pam, lorazepam, Lam, that means those are the benzo medication. Okay, another medication in anti-anxiety is buspirone. So I'm always gonna remember the bus. Okay, so it's gonna help you with that. So again, Pam and Lam are two sisters. They love driving Benz the car. So when they're driving the car, since you have to put a lot of attention, so it makes you sleepy. Okay, so sedation is the number one cause for these medication. So please make sure you take these medication at night. Okay, the NCLEX would try to trick you and will ask you a question. Okay, what is the best time to administer benzos? And we know it's always at night time because it's caused too much sedation. Okay, and remember the benzo car, because Pam and Lam love driving benzo and they're super sleepy when they drive the benzo car. Okay, another anti-anxiety medication is buspirone. So remember, you don't have to drive a bus, right? So if you don't have to drive a bus, so that means you're okay. So it will not make you sleepy. So it doesn't cause any sedation. You can just ride in the bus, since it stops at frequent stops, so you're very aware because you don't want to miss the stop, so it doesn't make you sleepy. And another thing is, since you don't pay for the bus, so you are not dependent on it, so it doesn't cause any dependency. Okay, very very important. Then NCLEX might ask you a question like this. So first of all, it doesn't cause sedation, and the second one doesn't cause dependency, and it doesn't have withdrawal symptoms. Another thing we have to remember, that we have to take this medication on regular interval. It's not available as PRN basis. Okay, let's talk about SSRIs medication now. So we have a couple of medication. So you can see sertraline, citalopram, paroxetine, fluoxetine. So these are SSRIs. So a little bit of information about antidepressant in general. So it takes time for them to be effective. So what if the patient tells you, oh, I think this medication is not working for me, I need to switch to the treatment. So what you gonna say? So usually it takes time for the antidepressant to be effective. So if the patient is saying, we're gonna teach them. Okay, and we are never gonna mix the SSRIs with St. John wort, MAOIs, antidepressants like TCA, SSRIs, SNRIs. We never really mix the antidepressant together. So very very important for the NCLEX point of view. And usually the SSRIs cause serotonin syndrome. We're gonna learn about that next. Okay, and we don't really start and stop them immediately. Okay, because it has more side effects. So there are certain things we want to remember before we start giving the antidepressant medications. So we all know SSRI treats the depression, but I got so many questions wrong with this, especially when I was practicing. I didn't know that it was treating chronic pain. So something you should know, it treats chronic pain as well. Chronic pain is pain that the patient has for a long time, and the patient needs the treatment. So that's what we call, when we have something for a long period of time, like say months, days, years, that's what we call chronic. So this medication treat that pain as well. It also treat the depression for sure. This is the first line treatment we use for the depression as well. So for the SSRI medication, what we want to keep in our mind that we always want to give them before noon, because if you will give them in the evening or at night, it'll cause insomnia. So basically most of the antidepressant, I can say, they cause some problems with the sleep. You want to keep an eye on that. So give it before noon. The biggest side effects are weight gain, sexual dysfunction, insomnia, as we know, suicidal risk, and serotonin syndrome. You can pause the screen and go through some serotonin syndrome like anxiety, confusion if you want to write them down, but I'm not gonna waste much of the time here, so I'm gonna jump right ahead. One more thing I want to tell you, it takes almost 3 months for this medication to be effective. Next, I'm going to be talking about SNRIs. It's not very important class, but sometime the NCLEX might ask you questions like what are the side effects of these medication, because NCLEX love to talk about the side effects. So there are two medications, so that is duloxetine and venlafaxine. So as the name says, vaccine. So I'm going to give you a little scenario. So there was a time when I had to fax something and I was so stressed about it, and my boss was keep on calling me. So finally I faxed the document that night. I had a good night's sleep and it relieved my pain because I was like free. I did what I wanted to do. So whenever we hear about venlafaxine, here remember my story. When I faxed my document, I was relieved. It relieved my pain, and what it did, it improved my sleep. I had a good night's sleep because I did my work. So it improves sleep and it treats pain. Okay, so basically these kind of medication, as I already told you, they try to treat the chronic pain. Let's jump to tricycline antidepressant medication. So there are amitriptyline, and imipramine. So remember this word, amitrip. So what does trip mean? When you fell down, right? So you want to prevent that. So what you're gonna do? You want to do slow position change for this medication. Okay, very very important. And remember anticholinergic side effect. So the patient is taking, you have scenario, patient is taking TCA, tricycline antidepressant, and patient can see, can pee, can spit, can pass stool, I'm sorry. So what you're gonna do? So that means these are the anticholinergic effects. So that means you have to report them to the doctor. So remember trip. So you want to do slow position change, and you want to remember anticholinergic side effects, which I already told you, right? So you remember this for TCAs. Okay. So another example, another hint I can give you, TCA, the last word is A. So A is amitriptyline and imipramine. So that's TCA. Okay. So let's jump ahead. So next, let's talk about mouse. So mouse, in the mouse there are three major medications. So there is phenelgine, sledgeline, and isocarboxazid. So how I remember it, phenelgine and sledgeline are two sisters. They're very good sister. So they are going on a trip. So they put isocarboxazid. So they put the ice in the carbox, because it was so hot when they were doing it. They got a very very bad headache because the sun was on them. Okay, so it caused major hypertensive crisis. Bad headache using mouse is very very dangerous. You want to report it to the doctor. Let's review some of the other side effects. So we all know the headache part. You always want to report it to the doctor, because when you were putting the ice in the box, isocarboxazid, you got this massive headache. So that means it's hypertensive crisis. You want to report it to the doctor. And another thing I want to tell you, avoid pteramine food. very, very dangerous for the patient. They cannot have bar food, that is banana, avocado, raisins. They cannot have organ meat. They cannot have preserved food. They cannot have yogurt. They cannot have caffeine, no drinking. But they can have fresh vegetables. That's okay. Okay. They cannot have any over-the-counter medication. So any Tylenol, any cough syrup, they need to talk to the doctor before they take any medication, not even Tylenol. Okay. And they cannot mix it with any other antidepressant that we already know. We cannot really mix one antidepressant with the other. They cannot mix it with St. John wort. St. John wort is a very dangerous medication, so we don't really want to mix it with anything else. Increased suicidal risk, so we always want to report it to the doctor. Another hint I'm going to give you here, whenever the patient is taking antidepressant medication, and do you think they are more at risk of suicide? Yes. So let me tell you why. So whenever the patient is in depression, okay, they don't have energy to commit suicide. But when they start taking medication, their energy level improves. So now they can actually do what they were thinking in their head. So we always keep an eye on the patient who are taking antidepressants, especially in the beginning stage, because they are more at risk of suicide. Okay, just a little side note here. Next, psychiatric medication which is very popular is trazodone. So while I'm pronouncing this, it just kind of makes me sleepy. The traz in the trazodone makes me sleepy. So what does that mean? It causes sedation. So what we know about sedative medication, we don't want to take them, right? We don't want to take them at during the day, because we don't want to take them while we are driving, and we always want to make sure, that we take them at the regular interval. Okay, so we want to make sure we do a slow position change for them. Okay, let's talk about valproic acid now. This is I have done, I would say, almost 4,000 question, and I've seen this in almost like 40-50 questions, which is a lot. So valproic acid, so how are we going to remember it? Pour, what we always pour a liquid or a drink. So what does that mean? So whenever we drink, it's going to affect our liver. Remember what we say, if you're going to drink more, it's going to make your liver go bad. Okay, so we always going to remember our valproic acid. So the patient is taking valproic acid. What we want to know, we always want to check if their liver is working properly. How are we going to know that? We're going to know it from their lab values. So we want to check their jaundice. Okay, if they have jaundice, what does that mean? The patient has jaundice, he's on valproic acid, that means that patient is developing toxicity from valproic acid. We want to let the doctor know. We want to check their ALT, platelet. These are all liver labs. We want to keep an eye on them, and if there is anything wrong with these lab values, we want to let the doctor know right away. Okay, another biggest tip I can give you here, never ever give valproic acid to the pregnant lady. Okay, because it might crosses the placenta, and it's super deadly for the baby who is in the tummy. Okay, so never give it to the pregnant lady. Let's talk about lithium now. So whenever we talk about lithium, we really need to know what is the therapeutic level of lithium. So therapeutic level of lithium is 0.6 to 1.2. Whenever the lithium level crosses more than 1.5, that means it's becoming toxic in our body. So we have to really report this right away. This is very, very dangerous. So lithium, think about your kidney. Okay, so we have to watch anything related to the kidney whenever the patient is on lithium. Okay, so we have to watch their creatinine. We know the normal lab value for creatinine 0.6 to 1.3. So if it's more than 1.3, that means bad creatinine. We have to report it. Okay, urine output less than 130 ml per hour is bad. Okay, so we need to report this right away. So one thing I want to ask you here. Okay, so you have this lab value. The creatinine is more than 1.3. You mean lithium is toxic, right? So and it's 1 a.m. in the morning. Will you call the doctor for this, or are you gonna wait because the doctor is coming next morning at 5 a.m. for the round as well? So you're gonna wait, or you're gonna call the doctor right away. So this is another NCLEX tip here. Whenever you see an emergency, bad lab values, patient fell down, critical thinking, patient passed away, even it's after hours, you have to call the doctor right away. This is your responsibility, otherwise it's a negligence. Okay, just a little NCLEX tip here. That's it for my psychiatric medication review. Trust me, I have gone through several reviews. First of all, they have like 30-40 minutes long review, and I'm like, what I really need to learn from these medications? There's like tons of stuff. I'm not like super bright. I was okay in school. So I was like, I need to just tell me what I really need to know to pass my exam. There's no way I'm gonna remember 100 things, but in order to remember those 100 things, I'm gonna probably forget those important things that I need to remember. So focus on these. I hope these will help you pass your NCLEX exam. And please don't forget to share your positive feedback if you have any. And I'm gonna make the more videos available soon. Thank you for watching, and please consider subscribing to my channel. Again, I'm with all the internationally educated nurses, and I wish you guys best of luck, and I know you will pass your exam, and good luck to you.